Hi there. Today we are going to make home-style chicken stew. This is one of my favorite winter foods. I love it because there's so many different stuff you can do with it. When I first heard about chicken stew, it just seemed strange because I think it should be a beef stew. I just think that's what the protein should be. However, this one is with chicken, but you could add tofu. You could change it up to whatever protein you want. The chicken is really good because it's got a creamy base to it. I like to make this just as a chicken stew and eat it as is with some biscuits on the side or buns. I also like to make it and use it as a base for my chicken pot pie. So while we're talking here, I'm heating up my big frying pan. I love this one. It's a big deep one. I like it. They go in the oven as well, and it has a nice lid. I like the lid is a glass lid so I can see what's going on. So the first thing I did was I cut up 2 cups of potatoes, a cup of carrots, and a cup of celery. Now I threw them in my multi-purpose steamer, put them in the microwave for 8 minutes to soften them up. You could throw that all in a pot and you could cook it, boil it in water. Actually, I added half a cup of water to this. I forgot about that. Half a cup of water. You could put this in a big pot, boil it on your stove. You just want them to become tender because they won't cook fully in this recipe if you don't pre-cook them. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take some chicken. I have a pound of chicken, a couple chicken breasts. Now, it says just to put it in the frying pan as the full breast and roast it on each side. The word isn't roast. Anyway, but I'm going to cut them into little pieces of chunks because that's how I like it. I like little pieces of chicken in my stew. I don't want the big pieces, and I don't want to cut them up once they're cooked. They will cook quicker in the little cubes, and then they're not hot when they're done, and you have to cook them up. Cut them up when it's done. So I cut up my chicken breasts. Probably 2 chicken breasts. You can slice them through the center like I've shown you before in a butterfly cut. Go straight through, open up your chicken breast, and then cut them small. You can leave them in a big chicken breast size, and you can have chunkier chunks. That's up to you what you want. I'm just washing my knife because we have another job for that knife once it's done here. Okay, so you heard my oven. I put my oven on because we're going to make biscuits. Okay, so this is heating up. You're going to add a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of oil in there to fry your chicken up in. I'm going to throw my chicken in. So there's my chicken all cut up. Throw that in my frying pan. All right. And you're going to take, that'll fry up. You're going to take 2 cups of water. And you're going to add the seasoning package to it. Let's do that. So that's all the prep basically for this stew. Throw that in. Now, one of my customers just told me that she loves to make this into a thick chicken soup. Actually, her husband does. So what you would do is make the chicken stew just as is. Follow all the instructions. Fry up your chicken, throw it in, and then I think you could have a thick soup. But I would add a cup or 2 of chicken broth. Now, I would like to do that, but I'm kind of craving this chicken stew. I'm going to make this into a chicken kind of shepherd's pie, chicken pie. I'm going to make a chicken pie is what I'm going to do. But I'm going to use a biscuit for the topping instead of potatoes. There's already potatoes in it. And what I love about this, you've got your protein, chicken. You have got potatoes, carrots, celery, all in it. It's one dish. Everything in there. You don't need to add anything to it. You're getting your vegetables. I find sometimes not hard. Sometimes I'm too tired at the end of the day to whip up some vegetables to go with supper. Okay, so that's there. This will start frying soon. And we'll get the chicken cooked on both sides. There we go. So you heard me say I want to make like a chicken pot pie. And I want a biscuit topping. So let's go over here. Let's see if I can make this work. I want to make biscuits. So we have our biscuit mix. I can make biscuits from scratch, and I certainly can put that on as a video and show people. I love making them with yogurt. I actually should do that because I have one customer who said she has a hard time making biscuits, and I'd love to show her a simple way. This I love. Quick, easy, gluten-free. Everything's in the package except for an egg, milk, and butter. So you take 1 egg, And you're going to crack it into a cup, 2/3 of milk. Now, of course, you can use any milk you want. Where did I put my whipper? In there. Okay, I need another one. All right. You're going to mix up the egg with the milk and let it sit. So you're ready for it. So just mix that up to make sure the egg is broken in there. There we go. And then we're going to cut up butter. Now, the main thing about making biscuits is keeping your hands out of the mixture. Now, I know many of our moms, grandmothers know how to make biscuits. No, that's why I cut my knife. So, and they could show you from scratch. So the butter is here. I've got 1/2 cup of butter. I'm going to cut it into little cubes to make life easier. And we're going to put it into a big pan. I love my big stainless steel pan. I don't know. It's my biscuit pan. I've always made biscuits in it. Everyone has a favorite pan. And all right, so we're going to cut this into cubes. And then we're going to add that to our pan. Right. So just cut it up small. It just makes life easier when you're making them. All right, so I'm going to put that into my pan. That was 1/2 cup of butter all cut up. Now we're going to take the package and we're going to add it to the bowl. Here are chicken cooking on the other side. All right, so take your package and add the mix. Then I have this fancy thing. My mother gave this to me when I got married. Mom made all her own pie pastries. I can make pie pastries. I can make really good pie pastries. But honestly, I tend to buy quite often frozen pies and make quiche with it, or make crustless quiche. I don't make pies very often anymore, but for a pie shell, I do use it with my quiche. When I use it with my quiche, I find I just buy a frozen pie shell. It's quicker. It's just quicker for me. As much as I enjoy a homemade pie. Now, you don't see, but I have something to show you. You got to see this when you keep going. Can you see her? There is my new addition. You see my puppy? She's actually sitting down. I didn't think I was going to be able to do a video because she was at me all the time. She wants to cook with me. Her name is Hallie, and I got her Friday before Thanksgiving. She's super, super good. And for those of you who know, I lost both my dogs this summer, and I needed something. And Hallie is filling that spot and becoming a wonderful part of our family. So she is a chocolate lab. And while I'm filming this, she is 16 weeks. By the time you see this, she'll be 16 or 17 weeks. Anyway, so you take your pastry cutter and you push it down on the butter. So what you're trying to do is you're cutting the butter up with this. Yes, it gets all cut on, and you got to take it off. And you put it back in there. And I would do this. I wouldn't add the liquid till this is done. Now, these are blades, so be careful. They're not too sharp. But you don't want to, I would assume, scrape your fingers across them. All right, so you keep using this. And you cut your butter up until your butter becomes like little tiny grains, smaller than a pea. Which reminds me, we add peas to that chicken stew. So that's another vegetable that goes in there. You add a cup of frozen peas at the end. Could you use frozen carrots, peas, and everything? Sure, you could. Why not? Why not put that in there instead of cutting up carrots if you don't have them on hand? You can buy a soup mix that has the carrots, the peas, the celery. I don't think it has potatoes, and you'd have to cut up potatoes in it. But again, that saves you time, and frozen is the way to go. Frozen is a great alternative to fresh. If you can't get fresh at a decent price and you can get frozen cheaper, buy frozen. By the way, is anybody interested in a freezer workshop? I did a freezer workshop. I got all done, recorded, until Hallie came and then things changed. I have a freezer workshop done, and I've never done freezer meals, but these are raw meals. These are raw meat in a bag with your vegetables, and then you label them and you put them in your freezer. Well, I made 5, I used 2 because I wanted to try them out. I was really impressed. And they're dump and go. So you dump them in a crock pot and they cook all day. Now, a couple of them can be sheet pans. You dump on a sheet pan when you come home from work and they cook in the oven. But either way, it's all done. It took me a little over an hour to throw everything into the bags, half an hour to set up, so an hour and a half, but 5 meals. And I could make more than 5 meals now that I know what I'm doing. You could actually double that into 10 and make 2 of the same, but I'm looking at more recipes. I've ordered some books from the library. I'm going to check them out and figure out some recipes to give you, because honestly, it's one of those things you go, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner tomorrow. I don't have time. I don't have time to go to the store. What are we going to have? And you got this freezer bag in the freezer. You just take it out that night and throw it in your crock pot in the morning. Or, holy mackerel, I forgot about it. Take it out in the morning and you can throw it in frozen. It'll cook in 8 hours. 4 hours if it's not frozen. So probably 8 if you're going to work. Okay, check this out. So this awesome pastry blender. Where can you get these? I know Dollar Store has them. I do recommend a better quality one, depending on what the Dollar Store has. But do you see how this is like nice and it's all flour? Now you don't put your hands in there. So there it is all mixed up. There's still some lumps in there, and that's fine. Then you're going to take your milk and your egg, and you're going to add it. Voila, biscuit mix is made. Very simple and easy. I need to stir that up. So that's all made. Now, you can take that and you can put it on a cookie sheet and cook it. I highly recommend our pan liners. You want a great Christmas gift for someone? Buy those pan liners. Put on the pan liners, nothing will stick. But, so there's my biscuit dough, all done. So then what I do is I take this and I will measure it out with, I actually use this. I always kept pizza sauce or tomato sauce. And I will roll it out and I will make my biscuits, pop them on the cookie sheet and cook them. We're not going to do that with these. We are going to dump this on top of our chicken stew and cook it in the oven and have a biscuit topping. Now, this is a simple way to have biscuits without having to do the other separate part, without having to cook them separately. And then everything's together. I just love that. Okay, my chicken is cooked. I'm going to show you my chicken back up here. All right. So now I'm going to see the pan. All right. So chicken is cooked. Now we're going to add. Ouch. Okay, we're going to add our vegetables. Tons of vegetables. Okay, potatoes, carrots, celery. And like I said, we're going to add frozen peas to it. Okay, there we go. So there they all are added. And you're going to add the stew mix, the chicken mix. Okay. Make sure it's all mixed. Pour that in. Now, go. Just check my package. Meanwhile, tablespoon to the frying pan. And you are going to cook the chicken breast. Okay, bring it to a boil. So we'll bring it to a boil. And then that will thicken up, majorly thicken up. It'll be so good. Gosh, I love this. Yeah, so good. And we're going to put the lid on it. We're going to keep an eye on it as it thickens. And then once it is good and thick, I'm going to add my peas. I'm going to put it into casserole dishes. I have 2 casserole dishes here. I'm not sure how much it'll take. I'm going to layer it with my biscuit dough. I'm just going to dump that. What I'll do actually is I will take my cookie scoop. These are great. My husband thinks they're ice cream scoops. They're not. It's a cookie scoop. I will scoop out my biscuit like so, and I will plop them on top of that stew. Put it in the oven and cook it for about 15 minutes to get those biscuits to cook. So the chicken and vegetables will all be fully cooked. I'm only boiling this to make the stew mixture thicker. Okay, so that is today's class. I hope you got lots from that. And please, if you have got this chicken style stew, home style chicken stew in your cupboard, get it out and make yourself a nice chicken pot pie. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. And remember, in October, anybody that places an order with me gets into my October giveaway for an epic box delivered to your door for 1 month. Okay, take care.